काल पाए ब्रह्मा अवतरा, काल पाए शिव जू अवतरा, काल पाए कर विष्णु प्रकाशा, सकल काल का किया तमाशा, जवन काल जोगी शिव कियो, वेदराज ब्रह्मा ज्योतियो, जवन काल सब लोक सवारा, नमस्कार है ताए हमारा, जवन काल सब जगत बनायो, देव दैत जन छन उपजायो, आद अंत एक अवतारा, सोई गुरु समझियो हमारा, नमस्कार तिस ही को हमारी, सकल प्रजा जिन आप सवारी, सेवकन को सब गुण सुख दियो, सतरन को फल मोबद कियो, काट काट के अंदर की जानत, भले बुरे की पीर पहचानत, चीटी थे कुंचर अस्तूला, सब पर कृपा दृष्टि कर फूला, संतन दुख पाए ते दुखी, सुख पाए साधन के सुखी, एक एक की पीर पहचान, काट काट के पट पट की जान, जब उद कारक करा करतारा, प्रजा दर्द तब दे अपारा, जब आखर करत हो कब हो, तुम मैं मिलत दे, दर सब हो जेते बदन श्रेष्ठ सब तारा, आप अपनी बूझ उचार, तुम सब ही तेरा निरालम, जानत वेद पेद अर आलम, निरंकार निरकार निर्लंब, आद अनील अनाद असंप, काका नूर उचारत भयो शंकर इकट्ठा सगरी श्रेष्ठ दिखाए अचंपव आद जुगाद स्वरूप स्वयं अब रक्षा मेरी तुम करो सिख उबार असिख संग करो दोस्त जिते उतवत उत्पाता सकल मलेश करो रन काता जे अस तुझ तब सरनी परे तिन के दोस्त दुखत हमें मरे पुरख जवन पग परे तिहारे तिन के तुम संकट सब ठारे जो कल को एक बार ते है ताके काल निकट न रक्षा होए ताए सब काला दुष्ट अरिष्ट डरे तत्काला कृपा दृष्ट तन जाय निहर हो ताके ताप तनक मोहर हो रित सिद्ध कर्मो सब होई दोस्त शास सकै ना कोई एक बार जिन तुम्हें संभारा काल पास ते ताए बारा जिन नर नाम तिहारो कहा दारद दोस्त दुख तेरा खरग खेत में सरन तिहारी आप हाथ दे ले हो बारी सर्व ठोर मो हो सहाई दोस्त दुख ते ले हो बचाई कृपा करी हम पर जग माता क्रांत करा पूरन सुपराता किल बिक सकल दे को हरता दोस्त दोखियन को क्षय करता सेरी आस तुझ जब पै दयाला पूरन करा ग्रंथ तत्काला मन बासत फल पावै सोई दुख ना तिसै व्यापत कोई अरिल सुनै गोंग जो आए सो रस न पावे सुनै मूर चितलाए चतुरता आवे दुख दर्द पाओ निकट न दिन नरकेर है हो जो या की एक बार चौपै को कह चौपै संबत सत्र सहस पुनि जय अर्ध सहस पुनि तीन कही जय भाद्रव सती अष्टमी रविवारा तीर सुदत रवि ग्रंथ सुधारा सैया पाएंगे जब ते तुमरे तब ते को आख तेरे नहीं आन राम रहीम पुराण कुरान अनेक कह मत एक नम सिमृत शास्त्र वेद सपै बहु वेद कह हम एक न जानियो श्री अस्पान कृपा तुमरी कर मैं न कहो सब दोए बखानियो दोहरा सगल द्वार को छाड़ कर गए द्वारो द्वार बाएंगे की लाज अस गोविंद दास द्वार सगल द्वार को छाड़ कर गए द्वारो द्वार पाएंगे की लाज अस गोविंद दास द्वार।
Art Satchel. God Satchel. AP Satchel. Nanak OCP Satchel. Art Satchel. Jagat Satchel. AP Satchel. Nanak OCP Satchel. Nanak OCP Satchel. Art Satchel. Jagat Satchel. AP Satchel. Nanak OCP Satchel. Nanak OCP Satchel. Nanak OCP Satchel. Art Satchel. Jagat Satchel. AP Satchel. Nanak OCP Satchel. Nanak OCP Satchel. Nanak OCP Satchel. ਨਾਨਕ ਓਸੀ ਵੀ ਸੱਚ, ਨਾਨਕ ਓਸੀ ਵੀ ਸੱਚ, ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ, ਨਿਰਵੈਰ, ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ, ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸਰਪੰਨਾ, ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ 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 God such a be such a Nanak osi be such a Nanak osi be such a Nanak osi be such a
ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹੀ ਦਸਵੀਂ ਕਭਿਓ ਬਾਜ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਚਉਪਈ हमरी करो हाथ तेरा अच्छा पूरन होए चित की इच्छा तव चरणन मन रह हमारा अपना जान करो प्रतिपारा हमरे दोस्त सब तुम गावो आप हाथ दे मोहे बचावो सुखी बसै मोरो परिवार ਜੋ ਗਾਜ ਕੇ ਬੁਲਾਵੇ ਸੋ ਨਿਹਾਲ। ਸਤਿ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ,
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਪਰਮ ਸਨਮਾਨਯੋਗ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਸਾਜੀ ਨਿਵਾਜੀ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀਓ, ਆਪ ਜੀ ਚੌਪਈ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇ ਪਾਠ ਕੀਰਤਨ ਦੇ ਰੂਪ ਵਿੱਚ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਦੇ ਸਿਮਰਨ ਸਰਵਣ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਸੋ। ਸਮੂਹ ਜਥੇ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ। ਆਪ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ ਹੁਣ ਆਪ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਭਾਈ ਅਮਨਦੀਪ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਆਪ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਗੁਰ ਇਤਿਹਾਸ ਸਰਵਣ ਕਰਾਉਣਗੇ। ਆਓ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਪਾਸੋਂ ਗੁਰ ਇਤਿਹਾਸ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਸਰਵਣ ਕਰੀਏ ਜੀ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
ਇਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਆਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਜਪ ਆਦ ਸਚ ਜੁਗਾਦ ਸਚ ਹੈ ਪੀ ਸਚ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਪੀ ਸਚ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ 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 ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ। ਬਾਣੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੁਰੂ ਹੈ ਬਾਣੀ, ਵਿੱਚ ਬਾਣੀ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਸਾਰੇ। ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਕਹੇ ਸੇਵਕ ਜਨ ਮਾਨੇ, ਪਰਤਖ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਿਸਤਾਰੇ। ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਬਾਣੀ ਹਰ ਹਰ ਤੇਰੀ, ਸੁਨ ਸੁਨ ਹੋਵੇ ਪਰਮ ਗਤ ਮੇਰੀ। ਜਲਨ ਬੁਝੀ ਸੀਤਲ ਹੋਵੇ ਮਨੁਆ, ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਕਾ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਪਾਏ ਜੀਓ। ਫਿਰਤ ਫਿਰਤ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਆਇਆ, ਪਰਿਆ ਤੋ ਸਰਨਾਏ। ਨਾਨਕ ਕੀ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਬੇਨਤੀ, ਆਪਣੀ ਭਗਤੀ ਲਾਏ। ਨਾਨਕ ਕੀ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਬੇਨਤੀ, ਆਪਣੀ ਭਗਤੀ ਲਾਏ। ਪਰਮ ਸਤਿਕਾਰਯੋਗ ਗੁਰੂ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, ਗੱਜ ਵੱਜ ਕੇ ਫਤਿਹ ਬੁਲਾਓ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਅਸੀਸਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ, ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਨਾਲ, ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਨਾਲ ਆਪਾਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਬੈਠੇ ਹੋਏ। ਦਾਸ ਨੇ ਅੱਧੇ ਘੰਟੇ ਲਈ ਅੰਗਰੇਜ਼ੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ, ਕਥਾ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ। ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅੰਗਰੇਜ਼ੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਮਝ ਆਉਂਦੀ, ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਚਰਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਾਫੀ ਮੰਗਦਾ ਹੈ। We're blessed to be in the company now of the 11th form of Guru Nanak, the eternal form of the Guru, Sahib Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. And we say this at the beginning of Katha Vichara. We say we're blessed to be here. Why is it such that we are blessed to be here? Perhaps when we woke this morning, as we made our way through the day, as we put together our plans to ensure that our tasks were completed, we made plans that we would in the afternoon, in the early evening, we would come to the Guru Ghar, that we would come to the Gurdwara, that we would do Matha Tek, that we would sit in the Sadh Sangat. And whilst we should have such Shubh Ichcha, we should have such pure intentions, the truth of the matter is, to sit in the Guru's Hazuri, to have a chance to walk before Maharaj and bow and do Matha Tek, it is by the Guru's blessings. Know it to be true, Sadh Sangat Ji, that whilst we may have made plans with our families and our friends, Guru Sahib makes it plainly clear, Aape Sangat Sadh Bahale, Aape Vida Karave. Maharaj explains, Aape Sangat Sadh Bahale. It is by the Guru's blessings that the Sangat are brought forward. That very place where you're sitting right now, Aape Sangat Sadh Bahale, that very place where you find yourself sitting, as you can feel your ankles upon the floor, as you can feel your lower back resting upon the chadar, that very place has been reserved for you since time immemorial. And so as we walk into the Guru's Darbar, and I'm speaking perhaps primarily to myself here, let's open up our hearts and say thank you. For just as any other house that you may be invited to go to, that may invite you round for food, we would leave, we would say thank you. But how often is it the case when we come before the Guru, before we lay our ardasa, before we lay our request before the Guru's charan, how often do we say thank you? Thank you for having me, we tell our children, to say to their parents of their friends when they go around for play dates, for trips, for school trips, we say to the teachers, thank you for having our children. But how often is it the case that one looks after all of our souls, that we say to Maharaj, Yo Maharaj, thank you for having me. Thank you for allowing me to bow in your court. How lucky are we to be here today? We go back now to the 6th form of Guru Nanak, Sahib Sri Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji Maharaj, for an example that will teach us just how priceless it is to be able to give ourselves the identity of a Sikh, to give ourselves that recognition, that blessing to be able to associate ourselves with the Guru's charan. How lucky are we? At the time of Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji, there was a Pandit. His name was Nityanand. And Pandits, sure as they would practice their trade of Katha Vichara based on their own religious texts. Pandit Nityanand would come to the charan of Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji and says, I'm a Pandit of the Sanatan Dharam, of the old ways, but I can find no place to practice my trade. Please give me a place in your charan that I can do Katha Vichara, that I can speak of the Shastras, the Shastras being one of the oldest texts in the Hindu faith. Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji, that one that would give us the true way, is not here to break anybody's hearts. And where else would it be known that there would be such an accommodating, humble way of being? Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji says to Pandit Nityanand, if you want to do vichara of the Shastras, you can do them in our place. We live in times of fear of the other now, where it's so common to denounce everybody and any else's way of being. But Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji was teaching us, not that we should follow the Shastras, no. Not that we should follow other dharmas, no. For Guru Sahib has given us a unique marg. But that way of accommodating, the way of listening, that way of communicating, Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji is giving that bhajan, and Pandit Nityanand is being permitted to speak of their dharam such that we can have a better understanding of who our brothers, who our neighbors are. Khair Guru Sikh. The time comes when Pandit Nityanand is doing katha, they're doing vichara of the Shastras, and they speak of the path that one must walk, the path that one must go along when they leave this world, when the soul leaves the body. And he speaks about Matalok, the different types of heavens and the different types of hells as described in detail in the Shastras. And he says, depending on if you've done bad deeds, you go to Nark, you go to a hellish place based on the Shastras. And if you've been practicing good deeds, you get to go to a realm that we can describe as a heavenly abode, of which there are also 7. And he speaks about, Pandit Nityanand speaks about how when you go on this path, it takes, if you're going to go to a heavenly place, it takes 1 year to complete that journey, and that the angels will come in a chariot and they will carry you there. And Pandit Nityanand is speaking to amongst the Sangat, and they're giving these teachings based on their dharam. Pandit Nityanand finishes their vichara, and as they come outside the darbar, Sant Gyani Gurbachan Singh Ji Khasa Pindrawale, they describe the scene that is before Pandit Nityanand as they walk outside the Guru's darbar. There are 4 Gurmukhs standing there, and they're speaking themselves about the vichara that Pandit Nityanand is been doing based on the Hindu faith, on the Sanatan Dharam. And how Pandit Nityanand has described the path of one who dies and leaves this world. It takes 1 year for them to reach that heavenly place, depending on their actions for the rewards. Bhai Sundarji speaks up. He says, Nityanand was talking and he said, it takes 1 year to reach that heavenly place to get the benefit of those good deeds. With Guru Sahib's kirpa, Bhai Sundarji says, by the blessings of my Guru, I can reach that heavenly realm in 4 pahar. So when we speak of pahar, what is a pahar? The day and the night is split into, the day is split into 4 parts, and the evening is split into 4 parts in terms of the way that we understand time. And each of those sections is called a pahar. So there are 12 hours in the day, 12 hours in the night. And so each of those 12 hours, the 12 hours of the day is divided into 4 pahar, 4 separate sections of 3 hours each. And so from 6 a.m. until 6 p.m. are the 4 pahar of the day. And from 6 p.m. until 6 a.m. are the 4 pahar of the night. Incidentally, people often ask what Amrit Vela is, what time Amrit Vela is, and there's different people talking about different times. Gyani Gurbachan Singh Ji explains that the last pahar of the night is Amrit Vela. So that last quarter of the night being 3 a.m. until 6 a.m. is, you can deduce that to be the Amrit Vela. But we go back. Bhai Sundarji speaks and he says to his Gurmukh brothers, he says, by the blessings of my Guru, I can reach those heavenly realms in just 4 pahar. I can, in just 12 hours, I can reach that place which Pandit Nityanand was speaking of, that takes 1 year to reach. Bhai Lalleji is sitting next to them. And they say to their brother, Bhai Sundarji, they say, by the blessings of the Guru, I can reach that realm in 2 pahar. In 6 hours, I can reach that realm. Bhai Miyaji is there. That Gurmukh also in the company of those Gurmukhs that had sat in the Guru's darbar listening to the katha of the Shastras. They say, by the blessings of Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji, I can reach that heavenly abode in just one pahar. In just 3 hours, I can make that journey that takes 1 year to reach, according to Pandit Nityanand. By Nahalla Ji, they say, if Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji does bakshish upon me, if they place their glance of grace upon my face and they bless me, I can reach that heavenly abode in ik pal. 1 pal is about 24 seconds. Pandit Nityanand is listening to this and they get very angry. Thoda ja gussa ho gaya. And they go straight to Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji. They say, yo, you've asked me to do gatha, you've let me do gatha here, but not to be insulted. I'm speaking of the Shastras, and the Shastras say in great detail the journey that one must undertake when they leave this world. And if they've done good deeds and they're going to be rewarded, the Shastras explain that this journey takes 1 year. What of it? What of it, Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji? Are your Sikhs false or are the Shastras false? For one must be false. The Guru Sikhs are saying that they can do it in 4 pair, 2 pair, 1 pair, 1 pal, by Nahalla Ji has said. But the Shastras are saying 1 year for that same journey. Which is true and which is false? Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji, they smile. Can you imagine what it would have been like to have the smile of Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji upon your face? Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji was 6'6". They were as wide as 2 men physically. They were, of course, wider than the entire universe spiritually, but in the physical sense, they were wide as 2 men. It is said that Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji was so strong that they could rub the face off of a coin. Of course, these worldly strengths were of no comparison to their spiritual wisdom, because they are that form of that formless Lord. Which of these is false? Are the Shastras false, or are the Gurmukh speaking falsehood? Which of these is, what of it? Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji says to Pandit Nityanand, they say, Nityananda, the Shastras are not false, neither are the Gurmukhs. I can't reconcile these 2 positions. Can you please explain? And this is where the teaching is delivered to us, that we can enshrine in our hearts. Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji would turn at that moment to Bhai Gurdas Ji. Bhai Gurdas Ji is the Mama of Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj. They have their own vars. It is said that their vars are in fact the key to understanding the teachings of Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji turns to Bhai Gurdas Ji, that great scholar, that great saint, and asks Bhai Gurdas Ji to explain. And Bhai Gurdas Ji explains to Nityanand, Pandit Nityanand, that the Shastras speak of those that are governed by the rules of this world. The Shastras speak of those that are operating within Karam Khand, that they understand and they are operating in accordance with the rules of Karam. Karam meaning that what we do, we will get that reaction back during the course of our life. The way that Guru Nanak Bhata explains to us, be aape beecha aape hi khao, Nanak hukami ava jao. That in accordance with the Guru's hukum, that whatever you reap, so shall you sow. And in this way, people will come and go from this world. Aape beech, aape hi khaho, Nanak hukami ava jao. Pandit Nityanand explains, Bhai Gurdas Ji explains that when you're operating within this world, the Shastras apply. Depending on your karam, depending on the deeds that you've done, you will do good deeds and you will go in accordance with the Shastras. It will take 1 year to make this journey to these heavenly realms. But the Gurmukhs are true, because for those Gurmukhs, those that are completely imbued with the Shabad, that recite the Gurmantra delivered by Guru Nanak Badshah, for those Gurmukhs, they do not operate within Pun and Pap. They are outside of Pun and Pap, because they are not operating for reward. They are not seeking to go to heavenly realms, nor are they fearful of going to places of Nark. Pandit Nityanand was very confused, as perhaps so was I when I first started doing this research. Bhai Gurdas Ji goes on to explain that for a Gurmukh, that has become nishkam, nishkamta, meaning without desire, because they've fallen completely in love with Guru Sahib, that there's nothing that they desire anymore going forward. And this really is where the Sikh Dharam, this is an example of where Sikhi is so far advanced of anything else that has around it, or that is or from the times from which it emanated from. When we look at other faiths, and we're not here to denigrate any faith or look down upon any other religion, but when we look at other faiths, there's a great deal of expectation and focus and attention placed upon what will happen when you leave this world. If you've done good deeds, you will go to heaven. If you do bad deeds, you will go to hell, and so on and so forth. But Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj is giving us that teaching, Raj na chaho, Mukt na chaho, Man Preet Charan Kamalave. That I don't want Raj, I don't want rewards. Mukt na jao, I don't even want to be in salvation. Just please bless me, Man Preet Charan Kamalare, bless me that I can be attached to your feet. What teaching is this that Guru Sahib is giving us? Guru Sahib is enshrining in us that we should be operating from a place of nishkamta, operating from a selfless place where we're not looking for reward. We're not operating to achieve something that we might benefit in the world hereafter. Often the times when we are acting like on a contractual basis, or people in the world are operating on a contractual basis, that if I do this for you, you will do something for me. We learn this at school, we get rewarded for this, and then we carry that through to our work life. But Guru Sahib is giving us a higher teaching that when we become truly selfless, when we forget who we are, because we've fallen totally in love with the Guru, then what is there for us? What is there of us to receive a reward? Maharaj explains to us, Aap gavaiye, ta soh paiye, aur kaisi chatarai. Maharaj is giving us a teaching, Aap gavaiye, forget who you are, ta soh paiye, in this way you will find your husband, Lord. And when we look at the Abrahamic faiths, we see so many examples of a reward and punishment system based on contracts. And Guru Sahib is trying to get us all away from that and say, act nishkamta. Seva karat hoine kammi, tisko hot prapat swami. Guru Sahib is explaining to us that when we do seva nehkami without any expectation of reward, this is how we can find our husband, Lord. This is how we can become one with God. And so Pandit Nityanand is trying to understand, how is it the case that if it takes one person 1 year to make this journey, how is it that the Gurmukhs can make that journey in such a short period of time? Because they're not operating within Pun and Pap. The system as described in the Shastras, in the Purans, about how one, through their actions, will determine who they go to and where they go and how they get treated in life hereafter, perfectly correctly describes those journeys. But Gyani Gurbachan Singh Ji goes on to explain in the Pehli Poti Tika that for those Gurmukhs that have dedicated themselves to japping Naam, to reciting the Gur Mantar, that they are outside of Pun and Pap, that they are beyond the desires of Pun, that they are without any fear of any Pap, because they have no karams left. And when they've completely destroyed that karam, all that's left then is to merge with the Lord. Nanak leen payo gobindasyo, jo pani sang pani. To become one with Lord, just like the water, when spilled into the water, cannot be distinguished and separated once again. Har jan doi ek hai, bib bichar kajnai, jalte upachit rang jiyo, jal hi mikhe samai. Guru Sahib explains har jan, between Hari, Paramatma, Vaheguru, Har Jan, and the servant of Vaheguru, Har Jan Doi Ek hai. Those two are actually one. Doi Ek hai. Bib Bichar Kajnai. There's nothing between them, no distinction between the two. Jalte Upachitarang Jio, Jal hi Bikhe Samai. Just like the wave might come out of the ocean, but cannot be said to be separate and distinct from the ocean, they are one. And so for a Gurmukh that has become one, what of those people? What of that journey? Gyani Gurbachan Singh Ji goes on to explain. They record the conversation between Bhai Gurdas Ji, Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji, and Pandit Nityanand. And Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji and Bhai Gurdas Ji, they go on to record that for those Gurmukhs that can, just as by Sundarji, by Lalleji, by Miyaji, by Nahalaji explained that they can close that gap in such a small distance, that when they leave this world to go and be judged, when they leave this world, Maaf Karna Sadh Sangh Ji, when they leave this world to go to that place where others are judged, they go there not to be judged. But when they go before Dharamraj comes off of their throne and they pay respects to those Gurmukhs that have become one with the Shabad. Pandit Nityanand asks for clarification. How can I be so that I can see this? Prove this to me, says Pandit Nityanand to Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji Maharaj. And Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji is written in some historians say that Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji gives to Pandit Nityanand the Mool Mantar Shabad to vibrate upon, to reflect upon for 6 months. They say reflect upon this Shabad for 6 months, and when you return, you too will have an understanding of what journey can be undertaken when you are enshrining the Shabad within your heart. Kariye Sabata Sachi Taksala, that when you take that Shabad and you enshrine it in your heart, that you can become that coin, that you can be minted in that Taksal and you can become one. Pandit Nityanand, they go away for 6 months, perhaps looking to disprove Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji, Bhai Gurdas Ji, perhaps looking to prove that the Shastras are correct, but they recite that Mool Mantar, they imbue that Mool Mantar into their heart, and they come back 6 months later and they say, yo, Iqbal, 24 seconds. But this is the way of the Guru. Guru Pyari Sadh Sangat Ji, it is not the way of the sect to follow the Shastras. Maharaj makes it plainly clear, Ram, Rahim, Puran, Quran, Anek kehen mat ek na maniyo, Simrat Shastra Ped sabe, Pahu Ped kehen am ek na janiyo. That the way of the sect is not to follow Ram, Rahim, Puran, Quran, to not indulge in the Simritis and the Shastras, but what lesson can we learn from this? Because those great scriptures that speak of so much detail, that have a truth in it for those that are operating within Pun and Bab, who are operating solely for reward or to avoid punishment, that what of those people and what journey will they undertake? That they will go on chariots to heavenly places over a year, that they will go to hellish places and they will be beaten. And why is it that we should understand this? Because perhaps sometimes only through healthy comparison that we can understand how much bakshish we really receive by having a chance to sit before Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji in their 11th form right now. What of us if we were to reflect upon the Mool Mantar for 6 months and invite that Shabad into our hearts and listen to it as we recite that Shabad and believe in those teachings and act those teachings outwardly to the world as we engage with other people with love, with fearlessness and compassion and kindness? What would happen to us? What journeys could we undertake? Guru Pyari Sadh Sangat Ji, if we look at the concept of Jivan Mukti, this understanding that through reciting the Shabad, through listening, through believing and through acting upon the teachings contained in our eternal Guru, what places what doors remain close to us? What places cannot be reached? Agam agochar alak apara chinta karo hamari. Maharaj explains and describes that one who is agam agochar, that one who is unfathomable, who is in a place that is so far away, apar. Chinta karo hamari. Maharaj is calling out to that one. And what code, what teaching is hidden in that message? Maharaj is explaining that through that Shabad, that one that is unfathomable, who is inconquerable, who is in a place that is beyond reach. Chinta karo hamari, cherish me. How can one cherish you if they are beyond arm's reach? No. Guru Pyari Sadh Sangat Ji Maharaj is explaining that they might be agam, agochar, alak, apar in a faraway place, but when you reflect upon that Shabad, when you become one with that Shabad, with chinta karo hamari, that they are still able to put their hand upon you. And as Pandit Nityanand would learn, that there are many journeys that we can take in this world. We can spend lifetimes reaching places. We can spend years trying to reach places. Or we can come before the Guru and bow and realize that we're already home. We can come before the Guru and we can bow before the Guru and understand that wherever we want to be, we're already there. हर मंदर एहो शरीर है, ज्ञान रतन प्रगट होए. Guru Sahib explains Hari the mandir, this house of God, Har mandir eho sharir hai, that this home of God actually exists within our own very bodies. Gyan Ratan Pargat Hoy, through reciting that Shabad, through enshrining the Katha Vichara, the teachings contained in Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj in our own hearts. Gyan Ratan Pargat Hoy, that which is already Pargat within, that which is already present within you will become Pargat, will become visible to you. Guru Pyari Sad Sangat Ji, we're looking to create such journeys. Perhaps as we sit in the Guru's Darbar, our mind is floating to the journey we're going to make home. Whether we're going to go to Tesco's, whether we're going to drop the children to family members on the way home. Our minds are ever forward thinking about a different journey. Unbeknownst to us, we're already at our destination if we can just center ourselves and recite and vibrate upon that Mool Mantra and recognize that within one pal we can reach those heavenly abodes. Just like by Sundarji, by Lalaji, by Mihaji, by Nihalaji, that could reach that place in just one pal. So in these last few moments that we have together, Guru Pyari Sad Sangat Ji, let's really concentrate on the sound of the Mool Mantra as we recite it together in the Sad Sangat. Let's recite this Mool Mantra, that which will take us, that mantra, that mantra, that will take us back to our own root. That will take us back to our own origin. Mana tu jot saroop hai, apana mool pachan. Recognize the Mool Mantra to not be something foreign from you, but it actually is your own root. And if you connect with it, you will connect with your own roots. I will connect with my own roots with the blessings of the Sad Sangat. And in these last few moments that we have together, time goes so quick. Let's recite the Mool Mantra together. I'll invite everybody to just close your eyes as we recite the Mool Mantra 5 times. And please, everybody, bless your rasana, bless your tongues. Leave no one silent in this moment as we come together in the Sad Sangat. As we recite the Mool Mantra, don't let it escape from your body. Use your ears to capture it. Listen to that vaj, listen to that sound, and have the Mool Mantra come straight back into your ears, that it can penetrate your heart. Eka oankar satnam karta purkha nirpau nirvair akal murat ajuni sepang gur prasad jap ad sach jugad sach hai pi sach nanak hosi pi sach. Ek oankar satnam karta purkha nirpau nirvair akal murat ajuni sepang gur prasad jap ad sach jugad sach hai pi sach nanak hosi pi sach. Ek oankar satnam karta purkha nirpau nirvair akal murat ajuni sepang gur prasad jap ad sach jugad sach hai pi sach nanak hosi pi sach. Ek oankar satnam karta purkha nirpau nirvair akal murat ajuni sepang gur prasad jap ad sach jugad sach hai pi sach nanak hosi pi sach. Ek oankar satnam ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਆਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਜਪ ਆਦ ਸਚ ਜੁਗਾਦ ਸਚ ਹੈ ਪੀ ਸਚ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਪੀ ਸਚ। You are the Sadh Sangat of Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji Maharaj. And if I've made any mistakes, you are the Sadh Sangat of Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji Maharaj. I ask for your forgiveness and your blessings. May we all be blessed by Guru Sahib, that we can enshrine the Shabad within our own hearts, that when we leave the Guru's Darbar, that we remain in our heart and spirits always present here, that our minds always remain attached to the Guru's charan. May we be blessed that we make these steps forward. And with Guru Sahib's Kirpa, like Bhai Nihalla ji, let us close the gap between this world of Maya and that realm of Sachkhand or beyond, that we can become one with the Guru's charan. I ask your forgiveness and your blessings. Deho sajan assi sriya jo hove sahib syo mel. Vaheguru ji ka khalsa, Vaheguru ji ki fateh.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਸਨਮਾਨਯੋਗ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀਓ, ਆਪ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਗੁਰ ਇਤਿਹਾਸ ਗੁਰਮਤਿ ਵਿਚਾਰਾਂ ਸਰਵਣ ਕਰਵਾ ਰਹੇ ਸਨ ਭਾਈ ਅਮਨਦੀਪ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ, ਭਾਈ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ। ਆਓ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, ਹੁਣ ਨੌਜਵਾਨ ਵੀਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਜਥੇ ਪਾਸੋਂ ਤੁਰਕੀ ਬਾਣੀ ਦੇ ਕੀਰਤਨ ਸਰਵਣ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਆਓ ਬੜੇ ਪਿਆਰ ਸਤਿਕਾਰ ਨਾਲ, ਜਿੰਨਾ ਚਿਰ ਵੀ ਜਥੇ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਹਨ, ਆਪ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤਕਰੀਬਨ 9, ਸਵਾ 9, 9:30 ਵਜੇ ਤੱਕ ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਚੱਲੇਗਾ। ਹੋਰ ਆਓ ਬੜੇ ਪਿਆਰ ਸਤਿਕਾਰ ਨਾਲ ਨੌਜਵਾਨ ਵੀਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਜਥੇ ਪਾਸੋਂ ਕੀਰਤਨ ਸਰਵਣ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੀ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।